Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to HR Repair. This is Hey Ray. Today I'm battling a cold slash nasal congestion slash I don't know what. But it is kind of taking my voice, and you'll hear it. It sounds like I'm going through puberty again. So hopefully you guys can live with that. If not, I guess you can scroll on. But today we have a 1984 Ford F-250. It has the diesel. It is the Explorer version, and I believe this is a 6.9 non-turboed diesel. Had some personal customer information in there I better cover up before that doesn't need to be spread on the internet. Anyway, the customer complaint is that this thing does not start when it's cold. He can plug it in and it will fire right up. As we can see, it's got a block heater cord hanging out of the front, and it is about 44 degrees today, but it's really windy. This truck, when plugged in, will fire right up. Now, he has told me that he put all new glow plugs in it. He said he put a brand new glow plug relay, which I'm assuming is either this one or this one. I don't know which one it is on this one. I'd have to check. And he said it still doesn't work, so he doesn't think it's glow plugs. He doesn't think it's the relay. He's kind of leaning towards injectors. Now, it runs fine when it starts, and it starts easily if it's plugged in. So my thought process is there's probably something going on with the glow plugs. Either the new glow plugs are no good, which I'm highly doubtful that they're all bad. I'm going to go along with either the new relay is bad or there's a wiring problem. Ford's wiring systems back in the 80s was not superior. They were, yeah, and neither, I mean, not just Ford. None of them were really superior for that matter. So the only scan tool we need is a fluke meter. So let's get this thing, let's just verify the customer's concern, and we'll see if this thing starts or does not start. Probably will not start. As we can see, the glow plug light does come on. Has the cruise. Does it work? Nobody knows. Okay. Spins good. And it will not start. Okay. So what I want to know is, does our glow plug relay get power? Does it have power? What are we looking at here? So let's get you guys set up there. I hope that my microphone is working okay out here in this wind. I've got the bunny ears on it. I call it the bunny ears. So hopefully it's working. It is windy out here. We're supposed to get like snow squalls tonight. Okay. Oh, we do have some burnt wire coating over here. I don't think it's going to be the problem because it didn't burn into the wiring. It just burnt the coating, the protective coating. All right. So let's hook this thing up to ground. And let's see, there's no power there. Okay, this is going to be our incoming power. Do we have power there? Okay. All right, now one of these, this is probably a ground. This is probably positive. So this one is grounded through. Usually it doesn't matter which is which there. So what I want to see on this relay is, do we have power coming up to here? Power and ground. Is this relay activating? And are we carrying voltage? Now this here concerns me. Excuse me, guys. This concerns me just a little bit here, because It's all rusty. It looks like it's gotten hot. Okay, so let's see if we get power coming through there. It's requesting the glow plugs to be on. We do not have power coming through. Now we do. It's cycling. Why is it cycling? Okay, so possibly we're not getting power down to our glow plugs, maybe. We're getting power there. Okay, so let's see, are we getting power down to our glow plugs? Okay, our glow plugs are going to be right down here on the top of the engine. Come on there. We'll back probe this. We are getting power down to there. Well, okay. I'm curious as to why it's not staying on. Why is it cycling? We really need to check all 8 glow plugs because we may just have some of them that are not working. Alright, we're going to have to get this truck pulled inside. It's trying. It's got a little bit of smoke out the back here, as we can see. I am thinking we may have a few glow plugs that are not working, or we have a lack of power getting down to some of them because this thing, I need to refresh myself, I guess, on how this works for sure, but I don't believe it's supposed to cycle like it is. So we're getting power down to the glow plugs. That was not what I was expecting, to be perfectly honest. So now we need to see how's come is that thing cycling like that. It should not, I'm pretty sure it shouldn't cycle like that. Some of them I know, if there was a few glow plugs out, they would cycle instead of staying on. But I don't know if that's how this one is or not. All right, we're gonna get this thing pulled inside and then we'll be back because I believe we're going to be checking glow plugs now. I have a major apology to make. While editing the video, I figured out that I never recorded when I tested the glow plugs on this truck. I tested the glow plugs and they all tested bad except for one. So this next scene that you'll see coming up is me installing the new kit. Through research, I figured out that these 6.9s have a problem with the controller. It sticks in the on position, and these glow plugs do not last. They'll burn up almost immediately if they're on for more than 5 seconds at a time, and if they're on for too long. Well, these were staying on constantly, and I figured that out. Also figured out that the controller is bad and that Ford actually recommends to upgrade these to the 7.3, which is the next series up, the 7.3 non-turbo option. So that is what we did. I thought I had recorded all of this and I can't find the footage. So I apologize. I hope this is not a this doesn't kill the video for you guys. I'm very sorry. I don't know what I did. I mean, I wasn't feeling well, but that's not really an excuse. I just don't know what I did. I thought I had recorded myself testing the glow plugs, but I can't find the footage anywhere. So bear with me, guys. And the way you test them is you do a continuity test from the part where the harness goes on to the ground part where it goes into the head. You can test that. You unhook every one of the injectors, or unhook every one of the glow plugs, and go ahead and do an ohms reading. All of mine tested open except for one. So they were all bad. And again, I sincerely apologize. I don't know what I did. Did I record it and it didn't go on the card? I truly don't know. For some reason, I can't find the footage. So this is me in the next scene going to put in the new glow plugs from the 7.3, which would be, I think, like 1991 or maybe 1990 to 1994, I think it is. So you can search those, but I give you the part numbers. So keep watching if you don't mind. And if you decide this is not for you, you're too disappointed, you're gonna swipe away, I understand. But thanks for watching. All right, we're back on this 1984 Ford F250, and we've got all our parts in, and we're gonna get this thing redone, switched over to a more reliable glow plug system. So here's the parts that you're gonna need. These are, I just got bullet splices. They're the 0.156 diameter, and those fit across the top of our glow plugs and will, yeah, work just perfect for that, because we have different style connectors on these glow plugs. Here we go. The others have a spade terminal. These are like a bullet connector. So ZD-29 or MC3Z-12A342-E. For the glow plugs, you'll need 8 of those. You'll need 1 of these. And this is going to be this controller. So I'll get into what it's going to take to wire this thing up once we get there. But this is a solid state controller underneath here, operating our glow plug relay. Now the bad thing about this is that if you have a glow plug that goes bad, this thing measures the resistance, and you'll have this thing clicking off and on if you have glow plugs go bad. So if you have that start to happen, check your glow plugs. And in order to check your glow plugs, you do need to unplug each and every one of them, because if you have one that's good, they're all hooked together. If you have one that's good, it will throw off the readings of all the others. So just make sure you unplug them. Now, so what we need to get started on is we need to get our glow plugs out of here, and this, yeah, and then we're going to lop the end of that off of there and put our new connectors on. Then this should be good to go. Now I do put anti-seize on my glow plugs. I don't care what you guys in the south say, but they do work for us up here in the north. So we do, I always put anti-seize on them. So let's get started, and I'll get these all out of here, get them switched out, get the ends switched out. When we get done with that, I'll bring you guys back and we'll finish wiring up our relay and getting everything wired up. All right, so we've got them all in there. Now we're gonna go properly torque them down. Wrist click. I looked in the service manual for Ford, and pretty sure that's what they say is a wrist click. So we're just gonna go through here, tighten them all to the wrist click, and then we'll put our new ends on. The old ones were not tight at all. All right, so we've got all of the glow plugs replaced. We've got all of the ends replaced. Now we're ready to wire up our controller. So on these controllers, you will have a wait to start light. This is the output for your wait to start light. This is the wire, the smaller one of the two that goes into the dash for the wait to start light as well. So this wire will need to be hooked up to this, which we'll have to clip this and just hook it up with a connector that we make. Then these two are going to your glow plugs, and these will go right here because it will need to supply power through this little wiggly wobbly thingamajig. It's a heat sink. In order for this is what tells the solid state module down below if it needs to give more power or less power. So as your glow plugs heat up, the less resistance it takes, and therefore it will turn on or start up the glow plugs. Put power to the glow plugs or not put power to the glow plugs based on that resistance. And that's why if you have a faulty wiring harness here, you will also have a problem with this thing kicking off and on as well. Then you have power, constant power from your key, which is going to be this one right here. One is ground, one is power. I believe the ground here comes from that controller back there. Now, I did forget to explain what happens. So what happens on these is this is a temperature sensing controller that controls your glow plug relay, and what happens is these things will stick in the on position and you'll have constant power to your glow plugs. And the problem with the original 6.9 glow plugs is that you will have an issue where those glow plugs cannot take more than 5 seconds of on time at a time. So that's why it's cycling, which I did not realize that until I did some research. So that's why it was cycling. Now it will continue to cycle, and this thing will keep your power on to your glow plugs for an extended period of time, which burns up your glow plugs almost immediately. So with these 7.3 glow plugs, we will be able to provide continuous power for a longer period of time. One other way you can do this is you can bypass the whole automatic process like this and wire up a momentary push button, which is what some people do, but you're gonna want to upgrade your glow plugs when you do that, because technically if you keep your 6.9 glow plugs, you can't hold them on for more than 5 seconds at a time. So you on, off, back on, off. Anyway, 5 seconds at a time. So you will need to upgrade your glow plugs. So while we're at it, why not just put this on? And it's a much more reliable system. Provides constant power to here, and the solid state controller on the bottom here is what takes care of kicking it off and on. So let's get our relay wired up here. We're gonna mount it right over here. Some guys say you got to have it over by the engine. I don't think so. I disagree with that, but you do need to keep this away from anything that can short out. So we've got our batteries, both of them are unhooked, and let's get this relay out of here and let's get this one wired up. All right, so hopefully this is all making sense. This is going to be the two bigger wires. These are the ones going to our glow plugs. Now this is you're going to want this to come down here, and this will get mounted there, and you want to make sure everything is clean, which everything is clean here. Then we'll tighten this down. Get my universal wrench here. Wrist click is all you need there. Okay, now this one right here is black, and that one's going to need to be a ground. I'm going to hook that up to the ground on our battery. On the 7.3, this was hooked up to an intake bolt for a good ground. So we need this to be a good ground. We do need this one here hooked up to this wire, which is going to our wait to start light. We're not too worried about that one as of now. Then if you remember, these were the ones that clipped down on top of the relay. This one and this one here. We're not going to use this one because that's not going to be a reliable ground. So this one should be power coming out, and we're going to want to hook it up to this terminal right here. So ground, positive. This is going to be key on power all the time. So let's get this out of here, and let's snip the end of that off, put ourselves an eyelet on there, and we'll get that one bolted down to there. All right, so we've got our ground wire ran over to here. It's not very pretty. It's functional. Now, So now this one is going to have to go get hooked up there, but I'm going to have to redo that because I don't have the female side of this connector. So let's get, I think everything should be hooked up other than the wait to start light. I'm just going to do this for now. And we'll just make sure that our wait to start light does come on. There's nothing spectacular, but let's just, let's see what happens here. Hook up our less than ideal ground cable here. It's part of the problem we run into with these old trucks is the wiring is a little outdated. Okay, now I think we're good to test. Okay, so will our wait to start light come on, our glow plug light? No, it does not. Let me go reposition that thing and let's see if we can get it to work. It should work. You know what? I'm a little dumb. You guys were probably like, why don't you just hook it up to the way it was? Yeah, I asked the same question. Why don't we? Let's go ahead and do that. Bring this over here, and there's no need to make it as tight as I made it a while ago, but I'm probably going to end up making it as tight as I made it a while ago. Okay, there we go. Now, that should indicate that our glow plugs are on. So let's see if such is the case. And it does, okay? Fires right up without hesitation. It cycles the way it should. Now obviously the key will be, you know, now we're not cycling off and on, off and on, off and on. This is the way it's supposed to work. Obviously the key will be if we get it outside and in the cold and see if it works. It'll start. I would expect it to start like this inside. So we're gonna pull it outside where it's cold, leave it set until tomorrow morning. It's about 6 o'clock this evening. So we're gonna take it outside, park it. Tomorrow morning we'll come back in and see if this thing starts right up. I suspect it will, and I suspect they're going to have glow plugs that actually work. So, yeah, this should work. This is satisfactory. It's working.
The next day.
It's about 15 degrees this morning. It's been setting overnight outside. I have not started it yet this morning. So, let's get in and let's cycle the glow plugs and start this truck. Glow plugs on. You just gotta love that old Ford 80s buzzer, don't you? There we go. Well, that old key likes to stick. So it will sit and cycle off and on, and that's due to the pull on the glow plugs. But eventually it should quit cycling, just like that. And that also kind of helps keep the thing running because these things are a little cold-blooded. They're indirect injected, so they're lower compression. The injector shoots the fuel into a little bowl area in the head, and that's where the fuel has to get heated up with the glow plug in order to start this engine. So these engines are worthless in the cold without any glow plugs. So you got to have glow plugs. We'll let this thing warm up a little bit, and it's warmed up a little bit, and we're going to take it for a test drive just because we do that on all of them. So let's back this thing out of here. Plus, I haven't driven one of these in a long time, and I want to drive this thing again, one of these again. And yeah, okay, let's just take it around the section. This thing, if you know anything about these 6.9s, they are severely underpowered. They have no power, but that's okay because yeah, they're very reliable, other than the glow plugs, obviously. But other than that, they're pretty reliable motors. They have no turbo, so there's no sounds. That's sad. But you can buy, I think you can buy retrofit kits to put turbos on these things. So, yeah. These things really don't ride that terrible. They sound like a... Whoa. I say they don't ride that terrible. They're not the best riding truck, but it's a work truck, you know. It's awesome. I really like these old trucks. It's just fun. So, you know, you got the wore out dash. You got things laying across the dash. I'm not gonna keep embarrassing the customer, sorry. Got a little bit of a wore out rearview mirror. You can see daylight through the door there. That's normal. You know, when they say that they don't make them like they used to, they definitely don't. And sometimes that's a good thing. If we would have kept the simplicity of the engines and kept all the stupid emissions stuff off of these motors, which, by the way, are more harmful to the engines, and I would venture to say they don't help our environment that much, because you're offsetting the emissions out of the tailpipe through the manufacturing process. So you're trading one thing for another, but that's a whole other story, so we're not going to go all down that one. But I hate emission systems on trucks and cars and all that. But that's, you know, I'm not the one in charge, so I have no say so over that. So yeah, I think we're done here. This thing fired right up. It's 15 degrees, like I said, 15 to 20 degrees this morning, and it fired right up, gave us no problem whatsoever. The glow plugs are going off the way they should. Everything is working as designed. So I hope this video was helpful and maybe a little entertaining. I know I didn't show everything. I tried to explain it as good as I could. I'll put down below what the part numbers were in case you wanted to get some yourself. I got mine from Rock Auto. You can also go on Rock Auto and buy yours there, or you can go to your Ford dealer. They might be able to get it for you. It depends on what kind of Ford dealer you've got. You can go aftermarket as well. Just I would select a 1991 or 1992 Ford 7.3, and you should come up with those parts, the glow plugs and the relay. So just rewire it a little bit and you're good to go. So this should work. This should last him a lot longer than what he had, and he'll be happy. If this was helpful for you, let me know that down in the comments below, and by tapping that like button. It helps me out a lot and helps the algorithm know that you want to see more of these videos. So I appreciate it. Thank you all. You have a great day. Bye.